most business is made with your lips. Most business is just simple conversation. So, when many Shulchanei Shabbat, you have the Kiddush, you say to Hashem, thank you very much for giving us the Shabbat. You do the Kiddush on the wine, you do the Kiddush on the bread, you eat enough food for a week, and all the great things, and you start talking. Now, if the conversation is about the Kiddush you heard in the Torah, the Gemara, the Parashat Shavua, all of those things, Ashrecha. The reality is that most conversations in Shulchanei Shabbat don't have much to do with that. They give the kids maybe 5 or 10 minutes attention. Tell them, oh, give us the Chidush that you heard, just to, make them feel like they're part of the whole thing. They have the kids say a Dvar Torah, and then the kid goes to sleep, or goes to play, or goes somewhere else, and everybody else continues back to their conversation. And what's the conversation about? Oh, that piece of real estate? Yeah, that building, I think I'm going to buy it. No, that one? No, I think I'm going to sell it. That diamond? It's a great piece. I think I'm going to invest in it. I think, well, you want to go partners? Okay, we'll talk about after Shabbat. You just made the deal now. We'll talk about it after Shabbat. No, we don't make the deal now. We talk about it after Shabbat. What's a D flawless? No, it's a VVS, it's a VV this, it's a VV that. People, mamash, talk 100% business on Shulchan Shabbat. But you tell them you keep Shabbat. Come on, Kvodah, of course I keep Shabbat. Chas v'shalom, what do you think, I'm a goy? Of course I keep Shabbat. Didn't Rambam said, mot yumat, all those things? I said, no, it even says worse. It even says worse. What does it say on a Mechalel Shabbat, Rabotai? What does it say? Many of us know somebody that's a Mechalel Shabbat. A recent statistic by PEW Research Center that I read made me sick to my stomach. First, it said that 90% of American Jews do not keep Shabbat. This is not a chidush. It's sad. It's horrible. But out of 6 million American Jews, only 600,000 keep Shabbat. 5.4 million do not keep Shabbat. This is a problem. It's not the chidush I'm about to tell you, though. Sad. Both me and you want to cry about it, but there's something even sadder. What's sadder? The same research said that although 90% of American Jews do not keep Shabbat, 94% believe it's okay to work on Shabbat. 90% don't work on Shabbat, but 94% believe it's okay to work on Shabbat. Meaning that 4% of the 10%, which is really 40%, 4% of the Shomrei Shabbat say, no, you want to work, you need to work. Listen, Hashem didn't give you enough parnasah, work on Shabbat, what can you do? Hashem has to manage. He didn't give you enough money. It's his fault. Meaning 40% of the so-called religious Jews admittedly say it's okay to work on Shabbat if you need to. Meaning the problem is not just with the secular people, the Reformed, the conservative, the atheists, the messianics, and all the other stuff that's in between. The problem is in the religious community as well. And the reason why is because most people simply do not know the magnitude of Chilul Shabbat. Now, I'm not going to go into the details that I went into in my shiur about Gehenom. That's not for here. But I'm going to tell you a couple of small things that will shock you, because most people simply don't know this. According to the Rambam, in Ilchot Shabbat, chapter 30, a Jew that violates Shabbat regularly, not that he does it by accident. If he does it by accident, turns on the light by accident, or something like that, it's a different story. He has to bring a korban chatat. He has to give tzedakah, he has to do tshuva, but it's not on purpose. Someone that drives on Shabbat, someone that smokes cigarettes on Shabbat, someone that works on Shabbat, which includes the people that think they keep Shabbat, but they're talking business on Shabbat. They're talking about diamonds and jewelry and business and the stock market and bitcoins and real estate and pretty much a lot of people. A lot of people. Those people, someone that violates Shabbat on a regular basis, the Rambam says in Ilchot Shabbat chapter 30, in the eyes of Hashem, he's considered 100% an idol worshiper. Why an idol worshiper? Why? What's one thing have to do with the other? The idol worshiper is praying to Buddha. This guy just did Kiddush on wine. This guy just drove a car, big deal. He believes. You ask most Jews, you ask him, do you believe in God? They'll tell you yes. Most. Do you know who God is? No, not so much. Do you know that you have to do Shema Yisrael? Not so much. You know that there's a reward and punishment? Not so much. But is there a God? Most Jews will tell you yes. Most. You ask people that really have some decent heritage in the Bukharian communities, Israeli communities, and so on, most have some level of belief in HaShem. They don't necessarily know much about the obligations, but they believe in God. There's a starting point. You ask them, do you talk business on Shabbat? Yeah, what's the big deal? I'm only talking. I'm not doing any transactions. I'm not giving any money. Just talking, just words. Business is just words. I built a $100 million business with just words. Not once did I ever take cash. Not one time. Not one time my entire career for 16 years did anybody ever give me money in my hands. Why? We didn't work with money. We worked with digits, computers. You send money on a computer. Even when somebody would send a check, I wouldn't see it. It would just go directly into a bank. It was all digital. Who deals with cash anymore? What am I, ice cream truck? Who deals with cash? Nobody deals with cash. It's all talking. Mr. Jones, do you want to buy? It's $1.5 million for so-and-so. Yes? No? Yes? If you say yes, I make $60,000 today. If you say no, then I'll call somebody else and make $60,000. Beginning, end the conversation. Yes or no? It's all talk. But people think, no, I'm just talking. I'm not doing anything. It's Chilul Shabbat. And 94% of American Jews feel it's okay to work on Shabbat. Feel it's okay to work on Shabbat. The Rambam says those people are considered idol worshippers. And the reason why is just like the idol worshipper replaced Hashem Yitbarach, the source of all water, with holes in the middle of the desert. Broken holes, broken cisterns, like the prophet Jeremiah says, that can't even hold water. Just like he replaced the source of all water, of all good, with nothing. The Jew that talked business on Shabbat, the Jew that worked on Shabbat, the Jew that's not keeping Shabbat, same thing. He replaced me with nothing, he replaced me with nothing. Now how bad does it really get? In the second book of Ech Tov LiYisrael from Rabbi Ephraim, one of the shelot that's asked is Islam considered idolatry? Are the Ishmaelim, Imach Shimam, considered idol worshippers? For the most part, they're evil. Some are decent human beings, but many of them want to kill us. You do statistics. A few, Prager University and a few other major research houses did statistics. It's not a conspiracy. Most of them want to kill us. It has nothing to do with us not liking them. It has to do with them just wanting us to cease existence because that's their job in the world. Why did this happen, by the way? Does anybody know? The Midrash says something awful. Awful. Small actions, big reactions. All of us remember Sarah Imenu. You heard Sarah Imenu, the wife of Avraham, Tzadikah, Kedosha. Hashem said, Avraham, listen to your wife. What does it mean, listen to your wife? She's a bigger prophet than you. Sarah, bigger prophet than Avraham. Bigger prophet. Sarah made a mistake one time. She mistreated Hagar. Mistreated her. Mistreated her. She didn't act so nice. Tiny small thing, okay, she said something, she did some things, but she didn't kill her. There's a few things, small things. Tzara imenu, big deal, no? What's midah keneged midah? What's the measure for measure? Hashem says, just like Sarah imenu mistreated Hagar, her descendants, Ishmael, is going to torture Am Yisrael until Mashiach comes. Midah keneged midah. Small action, big reaction. Shock of a lifetime when you understand what it means. This is all part of the cheshbonot of Shamayim. There's no solution other than tshuva. Now, unlike the Christians, the halacha is, according to the Rambam, that Islam is not idolatry. It's not idolatry. But Christianity is idolatry. So Rabbi Ephraim writes the details of why it's not idolatry. But then he gives something that's mentioned in the Gemara Masechet Avodah Zarah that is very relevant to us. The Gemara says that if you have uncooked wine, and an idol worshiper touches the wine, you have to throw it out. You're not allowed to enjoy it by drinking it, and you're not allowed to sell it either. You're not allowed to enjoy it from consuming it or from any other way. You have to destroy it. Once it's open, yes. You gave him a cup of Kiddush cup, it's uncooked wine. The idol worshiper shook it, held it, touched it, even if it's the whole bottle. The bottle is open, or even if it's the whole barrel. The barrel is open, the idol worshiper shook it a little bit, garbage. You are not even allowed to give it to your dog. Little Christian, believes in J.C. Penney, touched the thing, that's it, it's all garbage. Could be the whole barrel of wine, could be $500,000 if it's expensive wine. Garbage. Not allowed to give it to dogs, cats, can't sell it, can't do anything with it. All you can do with it is throw it out. Same thing you can do with the wigs that come from Avodah Zarah in India. Only mitzvah you have with wigs from India is to burn it. It's the only thing you can do with it. Other than that, there's no other mitzvah to do with it. Now, that's because Avodah Zarah is detestable by HaShem. It's disgusting to HaShem. You've replaced everything with nothing. Part 2. If someone that's a Muslim touches your wine, what can you do? It's open. Again, it's open. If it's closed, it's a different story. If it's open, what can you do with this wine? You're not allowed to drink it, but you are allowed to sell it. You're allowed to give it to your dog, you're allowed to give it to a non-Jew, you're allowed to sell it, you're allowed to enjoy it. Why? Because he's not an idol worshiper. But you're not allowed to drink it. Idol worshiper, garbage. Not idol worshiper, you can enjoy it in some regards, but you can't consume it. Shock of a lifetime. If a mechalel Shabbat touches your wine, he has the same deen as the idol worshiper. He has the same deen as the idol worshiper, the guy that prays to Buddha. You must throw out the wine, meaning even if he machshimo, the Muhammad himself comes and he touches the wine, you're still allowed to sell it. But your fellow Jew, your brother, your sister, the Mechalel Shabbat, you can't touch the wine. If that doesn't make you sad about Am Yisrael, what's going to make you sad? It's a sin. It's a sin from the Torah. As a matter of fact, to give him to touch it is a sin. You ruined wine. To give him the wine is not allowed. Why? You ruined wine, not allowed to ruin wine. It's bal tashchit. Your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, somewhere it's relevant to you, your best friend from childhood, just touch the wine, you're not allowed to drink it, you're not allowed to do anything. You have to judge it the same way as Avodah Zarah, Hashem Yirachem. But the Muslim terrorists, okay, we can still sell it, we can still make a few dollars off of it. That's alacha, Rabotai. It doesn't make sense, but that's God. Why am I telling you these shocking facts? Because if we don't start understanding the significance of Shabbat, we're all going to continue violating it. Even the ones that call ourselves Shomrei Shabbat. If you don't learn Alachot Shabbat, you're guaranteed to be violating Shabbat.